Hello everyone and welcome to the Green Man channel. Hope you're all doing good and well. So it's time for another album review this week, and this time I'm talking about the Norwegian industrial gothic metal band known as Gothminister, and this is their release Pandemonium 2 Battle of the Underworlds, which came out last week on the 3rd of May via AFM Records. And this album is 12 tracks and 39 minutes in length. And this band apparently almost qualified for the Eurovision Song Contest for Norway. They got to the final, I think, of that selection process, but didn't quite make it. Alas, they would have been absolutely perfect, I think, for the Eurovision Song Contest because, you know, they have the whole gimmicky thing going on with the outfits. They have the aesthetic, which will make you think of entries to the Eurovision Song Contest like Lordi, who actually, of course, won it. And they're exactly, for me, that kind of a band. However, for me, I found this album just a little too on the simplistic side, even more simplistic perhaps than sort of a band like Lordi. And for me, although this album does have this dark anthemic feel, which works for a while, it is a bit too repetitive for me to really kind of enjoy it and feel like I'm going to want to revisit this multiple times. It is just, for me, the songs and the lyricism. I mean, you read some of the lyrics for some of these songs and you might then understand somewhat what I'm talking about. In fact, you know, I'm not usually a lyrics person and I tend to approach everything more from the musical end. But the lyrics are kind of noticeable, which when I talk about some of the tracks later on, I will talk about. There's a song in particular where I just noticed the lyrics and I thought, okay, is this where we're going? Yep, okay. And, you know, I will say this about this record. It is very hooky. It's very immediate. There are people that are going to absolutely love this kind of album, and that's absolutely fair enough. You know, it's not, you know, it's the kind of album that's not going to be for everyone. It's going to be for those of you that enjoyed, you know, big anthemic, somewhat Rammstein-like in places. There are those big industrial metal hooks to draw you into the sound. I will say that, and that's part of what makes it immediate for me. But I did, for me, struggle with... you know, despite having that immediacy, just struggling with any kind of depth for me, both musically and lyrically. And that's really where I struggled with this album. I mean, of course, you can't go into this taking this too seriously. This is not an album to be taken seriously at all, really. It's all a bit of fun, I think. That's the way I see this. Rightly or wrongly, I just think this album is all a bit of fun. And yeah, so... get out of it what you will. You may absolutely love this, and as I say, that's fair enough. So going into some of the songs, actually the opening track is possibly one of my favourites on here, Battle of the Underworlds, I think, with a driving riff, a memorable chorus, but the kind of chorus which has just merely a little bit more to it than some of the other chorus moments on this record. I quite enjoyed that one. We Live Another Day, I liked the more sorrowful side to that track, just had a darker tinge about it. You know, I know this is got the gothic flavour to this album, but this one really I quite liked that it just had a little bit of an element of a sorrowful side to it. For me, One Dark Happy Nation and I Am the Devil are two examples of songs which I really didn't vibe with at all, and you know, they were just very basic to me. And I mean, the choruses in those songs are just I think they speak for themselves when you listen to them. I Will Drink Your Blood was a little bit like that same problem, but there was something a bit more fierce about that song, and I love the atmosphere. It had a kind of epic chorus I could get behind a bit more with that song, so I did slightly prefer that track on the album to a lot of the other songs on this record. There are other tracks, I mean, like We Are the Heroes, which has some pretty, you know, just cheesy lyrics. You know, basically like, we are the heroes, we stand together, we fight the monsters, we will survive. And that's pretty much the essence of the song. We are the heroes, we'll fight together, we'll fight the monsters, we will survive. Yeah! And yeah, that's about where it all kind of, yeah, ends, I suppose. So yeah, I mean, like I say, this is a fun album, it's a fun record, you know. I can't really kind of, you know, seriously review this, to be honest. It's one of these albums which you're going to love or hate, I suppose. For me, I don't really, you know, it's not really my thing, to be absolutely frank. It kind of has, like I say, that industrial sound of a Rammstein, combined with the spirit and bombast of maybe a Sabaton type record. Maybe if you like both of those bands, you might slightly prefer this one to me. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10. I know that's possibly the lowest score we've had on this channel, but don't get me wrong, they're perfect for Eurovision. They're absolutely perfect for Eurovision. I think it's a shame they've not gotten onto that, because I think they'd be great for Eurovision type crowds where you only get one listen to the song to make your judgment. And for that, this is actually quite good, you know, as material for Eurovision Song Contest. But yeah, anyway, from me, make of this what you will. Check it out if you like. But you know, from my review, you know, that's it for today. So if you enjoyed this album review, drop a like and subscribe. Otherwise, from me, until next time, it's bye for now.